My sibling Chloe rose up during Thanksgiving. Her drink glass shook enough to seem dramatic as she declared, "Eliza needs to quit asking for cash. It's totally sad." Everybody gave a quiet laugh. Meanness felt like a household thing. I didn't protest. I just took my phone, started my banking program, and started stopping 6 years of hidden payments. Her charge cards, car loan, and other bills disappeared in less than 30 seconds. She didn't know what occurred until her phone began ringing non-stop. Rejected, rejected, rejected. You should have witnessed her face when she realized who was behind cutting the funding. But know that move was not payback. It was just the first step. Thanksgiving was always Mother's big show. The place was perfect, shining like a fancy magazine, filled with berry smells, shiny silverware, and a perfect centerpiece. Every year, my sibling Chloe did her grand arrival 30 minutes late. Her expensive jacket was beautifully thrown on. Her spouse, Ryan, trailed her, showing the certain rehearsed grin that rich guys like. Eliza always came unnoticed, holding a store pie and my vehicle keys. Nobody ever mentioned that I was on time. When you live as the household's second thought, you figure out to watch patterns. Mother would glow at my sibling with total love, but her sound for me carried a certain tone, half sorry, half criticism. She would say, "At least you've got work stability, Eliza," as if steadiness itself was a runner-up prize. Father would add in, celebrating my sibling's business spirit, easily overlooking her online shop shut after 3 months at a money loss. It didn't count. My sibling glowed with style. I managed money books. I made a bigger salary than anybody in the place. Yet, they would never consider me exciting enough to boast about. For years before that evening, my sibling phoned me crying. It was late night. Her sound was trembling. The usual sign that she badly needed help. "Eliza, I filled up a card on the cooking space update." She said quietly, "Ryan can't know this. Please, just the one occasion. I swear to repay you." The cost was $900. I sent the money right away without requesting any details. That's what siblings are meant to do, give help, but once fast grew to twice and then it turned into a monthly thing. First charge cards, then a car loan, then an insurance payment. Her money troubles changed into steady lifestyle support. By the 4th year, I was paying $3,700 each month, which was enough to buy a second car myself. I carefully saved every proof and text note. I kept saying to myself it was short-term, that someday she would fix the problem. She never did, and I never turned down her ask. Part of me wanted to show I was not the mean person they thought I was. Another part feared the response if I quit. The household already saw me as distant. Turning her down would prove I was harsh. So I kept silently giving these unseen amounts to keep their dream of my sibling's perfect life. But that Thanksgiving seemed unusual. Maybe it was Ryan purposely dodging eye meeting or the fake, thin sound of my sibling's giggle. Something under the shiny surface seemed weak. I didn't know it then, but this evening became the final time they would ever look down on me. Supper started normally. Dad cut the bird like a pro, while my sibling told her story as if it was a TV program. Ryan just finished growing his work business, she said, handing him a glass of wine as if it was a big prize. "We are really thinking about purchasing the next property. The children want to have a swimming area." The group broke into cheers. I gave a polite grin that didn't reach my eyes and drank my drink. My pie stayed alone on the surface, pushed aside by her $200 snack platter. Then my relative, Jordan, said softly, "I'm drowning in school debt," she admitted. I hardly made smallest payments. I glanced up, willing to help. "I can point you toward options to combine your loans." Mother stopped me right away, her voice cutting but nice. "Not now, Eliza. Not everybody needs to discuss money numbers." My sibling fast interrupted, wanting the attention. "Jordan, you should talk with me. I'm great at handling cash. Great at cash." I almost started laughing. This was the lady whose smallest monthly costs I had been covering for years. Still, I spoke nothing. Jordan agreed, attempting to be nice. My sibling went into unclear suggestions about planning and the strength of wishing plenty. I stared at my food dish until the sides of my sight became fuzzy. Eliza, mother, harshly stopped me. What are you attempting to do? I said again my sibling's common phrase, owning up for my own decisions. My sibling's phone rang once, then twice, and a third time fast. She first brushed it off, but the alerts grew fast, one following another until the loud electronic sound of her breaking life covered the space. What is that sound? Father asked. My sibling's sure smile weakened. It's nothing serious. Her display lit again. Payment stopped. Autopay rejected. Not enough money. The following quiet felt sharply clean. I slowly put my phone into my bag and fixed my shirt. I should go, I said peacefully. You are correct, sibling. I need to quit making my own problems everyone else's business. I walked out before anybody had chance to answer. Behind me, I could notice her phone going non-stop. It was bank, credit company, the ghostly voice of every secret payment I had handled. Once I was back, I made some hot drink and turned on my computer. Years of money files were waiting for me. Every move, every note saying please just this single occasion. Every word she never kept. I built a full chart using colors by year. The ending debt number stared back at me, $41,500. When her first crazy voice note came, I decided not to pick up. More came right after. Her voice changed greatly from anger to fear, then to begging. Eliza, what really did you do? Ryan is beginning to ask sharp questions. Please, you need to repair this. The following day, my folks began phoning. She is your family member, mother begged. You can't just quit helping her. I answered. I did not quit helping her. I just quit covering her household bills. A heavy quiet came. They had no answer for that reply. By the time the week ended, my sibling's nicely built dream had totally broken. Her loan accounts were stopped. Her loan rating dropped. And Ryan was at last facing the money truth she had covered beneath her fancy outfits and online posts. The household's favorite special kid was having a major meltdown. And for the very first occasion, I felt no shame. I felt lightness, clearness, and escape, knowing that sometimes fairness does not need an audience. It only requires a hidden code, a firm will, and the guts to hit the stop switch. By Monday day, I stopped counting her phone calls. There were 19 voice notes and 42 text notes, each one feeling more desperate than the previous. At first, I wouldn't listen. I wanted total complete silence. But when I finally heard them, they felt like a real confession of blame. Eliza, what in the world have you done? My costs are coming back. I'm asking you, Eliza. The lender reached me. Ryan is losing it. I'm serious. This isn't a joke. Then there was a note from my mother. Chloe is really troubled. You need to fix whatever issue this is. Fix. That one word had followed me my whole life. I had always fixed my siblings' bills, her crazy moments, and her image. I had always fixed the household story every time she fell. But that time was done. At exactly 8 a.m., an unfamiliar phone digit showed on my screen. I picked up. This is Ms. Stone. My title is Denise, reaching from bank company. We are checking the stopping of repeating costs made to the account finishing in 7734. That is right, I said. May I ask why you were doing costs on another person's charge card? I breathed slowly. It was a family deal. It has stopped. There was a brief break. Then the worker replied with knowing. Stopping finished. When I hung up, I understood there was no chance to return back. By midday, my sibling messaged again. You said to help me. Why are you intentionally hurting me? I wrote back a reply. You told me to quit asking money from you. I am just obeying your command. The writing sign showed, disappeared, and then showed again. Then came her last note. I right now owe $88,000 in bills. I can't repair this by myself. The clear fact, typed out, the total she had kept from her spouse. The truth I had protected for so long. I didn't answer. I just grabbed a picture, kept it, and placed my phone down. That evening, my father made a phone call. His voice measured the way it becomes when he is purposely attempting to seem logical. Eliza, your sibling is dealing with real trouble, he said. Her charge card. Companies are saying to deliver her accounts to collectors. I am knowing of that, I answered. Then you must step in and do something. I already did. Something, I stated. I stopped paying her monthly costs. He made a big breath. That is heartless. She is your household. I was her household when I sent $41,500. I responded. She never returned it. I stay her family member now. I am just no longer her money safety thing. You've shifted greatly, he said. No, Dad. I just quit acting that this deal was love. By Tuesday, the team chat for the household was active with movement. My aunt, Patrice, phoned me to talk. Next, my relative, Kevin, delivered a message followed by a sound note from Jordan. I purposely brushed off all of them until Jordan's next note came in. Eliza, I just found the facts. She claimed everyone you were always asking her for cash, all while you were really covering her costs. That is unbelievable. I could notice the pure shock in her sound. You really need to share people the truth. I don't have to, I said calmly. The truth is already reaching up to her. And truly it reached faster than I had expected. On Thursday night, my phone buzzed again. It was Ryan, her spouse. I stopped briefly before picking up. Hey, he began, his sound tight. I needed to check this straight with you. Have you been covering her charge card totals? Yes, I said. For how long were you paying this? For years, I shared with him. Quiet came. Then a noise that was half a worried breath and half an empty chuckle. Good Lord, he said. I didn't plan to get between you both. You weren't getting between, I stated. You were just standing below us, holding her up. He didn't know what to reply in return. He kept talking. She claimed you felt bitter because you couldn't handle your own money. I really trusted her. I took a pause to gulp. Well, now you have the truth. Yes, now I have, he said. Ryan did not seem mad at all. He seemed really worn out. It was the kind of tiredness that comes after years of lying to yourself. He said his thanks, then gave an apology. He didn't say sorry for my sibling, but for believing the bad version of things. Friday day, my sibling showed at my place. She had no makeup. Her eyes were clearly swollen and she was dressed in pants that surely cost more than everything I was dressed in. She looked tinier than I had ever seen her. May I come inside? She requested. I likely should have said no, but I stepped back. She settled at my cooking table and began touching the edge of her drink cup with her hand. I ruined everything, she said. Yes, you sure did. I responded. I was having too much at Thanksgiving. I just needed them to think I was doing well. I didn't intend any of those things I spoke. You named me a beggar, I said to her. Her bottom mouth began to shake. I was scared. Ryan was becoming doubtful of the money. I figured if I made you look worse than you. I finished her words for her. She just agreed. I have no clue what to do, Eliza, she said quietly. The charge accounts are all stopped. The vehicle might be taken. Ryan is mad. I stayed quiet. Please, she asked softly. Just for a few months, I swear I will get work. I will surely repay you everything back. You've been giving that same word for 4 years, I stated. Out. Her crying began to run fast, messy, real crying. You don't understand. I'm going to lose everything I own. No, I said. Softly. You already dropped it. She looked as if the truth hadn't hit yet. I rose up and pulled the place door. I can't help you, I shared with her. Not this occasion. She stopped at the opening. I truly am sorry for what occurred. I think you are sorry that your ideal life is finishing, I explained. But I don't think you are sorry for the things you really did. She walked from the place without another sound. That night I rested on my couch, my tiny silent couch in my tiny silent place, and made out a long breath for what seemed like the first time in years. My phone shook only once. A fresh text note came from Ryan. She truly intends it when she says she's sorry. I am grabbing control of the matter now. She has begun a work. Thank you for everything you did. I didn't answer to him right away. Some things are best kept unspoken. Real payback isn't always loud or showy. Sometimes it is the soft, constant noise of a entry that at last stays closed. And in that coming quiet, I began noticing the beat of my own life starting again. By the time warm season came, the tale of that Thanksgiving moment had been totally picked apart by every branch of our wide household. The older folks whispered that I had turned cold, while the relatives phoned me alone to share me. I had done the right choice. I didn't fix any of them. I was totally done with fixing people's views. Ryan traded my siblings' big SUV and got her old car. Instead, he stopped their fancy trip to island vacation, took control for all their accounts, and made automatic bill cost moves. My sibling began work at a nearby shop, doing 40 hours a week always on her legs. The person who used to share pictures from top holiday places was now sharing photos of tidily arranged sweaters and sale purses. Mother attempted planning household meetings to push a fixing between us. I came, but I wouldn't act my past part. I carried my own meal, grinned kindly when needed, and left early. My sibling actively skipped making eye meeting with me, and I felt no want to run her down to mend things. One day, around 6 months after that important evening, my phone told me of a payment. $500 had been moved into my savings account. A message right away came: first cost. It will take 16 years, but I promise to repay every single dollar you gave. I looked at the alert for a long time. Part of me felt the push to send the cash back. Another part knew that she totally had to do this for her own reason. I wrote 2 quick words: got it, thank you. Life moved calmly after that. I sent the $3,700 I used to give monthly into savings accounts. By the next Thanksgiving, my money had grown by 34%. I still kept a plain way of life, but now every bit of stuff, every calm morning drink felt really mine. It was all bought for, gained by me, and totally clean by anyone else's money problems. At holiday time, my sibling and I stood beside each other in Mother's cooking space once more, seeming like outsiders who happened to share a youth. She handed me a dish of treats without glancing up. "I am doing an effort," she said. "I know that," I answered. It was not pardon I gave. It was plain seeing. Jordan held me before she walked that evening. "You showed me how to stop people from stepping all over me," she said quietly. "You did that by at last refusing to allow them step over you." That's when the real thought struck me. The time I quit being the household's blame person wasn't when my sibling's phone lit with rejection alerts. It was the time I quit feeling the want to say sorry for doing the correct thing for myself. A year after, Thanksgiving supper seemed smaller, less people, much less sound. But for the first occasion, the silence felt totally right. I rested at the same table where everything had broken 12 months earlier, seeing I was no longer wanting anyone's approval. I had used most of my life attempting to be the family member who could repair everything until I figured that always fixing others can hurt you in ways nobody else ever sees. My sibling was kind, calm, almost quiet. She handed me the crushed potatoes, and for the first occasion, there was no fake show behind her grin. I felt no leftover anger anymore, only a feeling of space, the kind of space that at last brings calm. I walked early, stepping out into the freezing evening, thinking about all the unseen things I had gotten back through my quiet, my own pride, my built savings, my feeling of self-worth. I used to think revenge meant making them hurt. But real revenge is just living a nice life, calm and really free. If you have ever been the person who kept a household together until the work broke you, this story is meant for you. Please drop a note and tell where you are hearing from and share your tales. They show me that I am not alone. And if you really think that making limits is not an act of meanness, but one of bravery, please press the follow switch. There are more